Hi everybody, Monica Bodierski here, artist and author of the Shadowland Tarot and the House of Shadows Lenormand. I want to thank you once again for tuning in and watching these videos. I find it very motivating when you comment and you like and you subscribe to continue making them. So thank you so much. If I haven't mentioned it, and I don't think I did, happy Pride Month. We're down to the last few days. It was Pride weekend, but also Pride Month. So celebrate. Everyone get out there and celebrate. Well, there's still a few days left, and hopefully that will continue into the whole year. Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't just have to have a day or a month? I understand this is awareness, but I'm kind of one of those idealists who hopes that it's just going to spread into the year and then years and everyone's aware all the time. Okay, so what am I going to talk about today? Well, last week I answered a question about where I live and where I don't live and a few other things, and I do have two questions this week that I thought I'd answer and share with you. One is from Mark. Hello Mark, thank you for your comments. And Mark's comment and question: your color palette makes great use of so many shades of my favorite color, purple, violet, lavender. I'm wondering why you did this. Is it your favorite color as well, or just a great color to depict the shadow aspect, or was used to further a connection to the intuitive third eye, or all three? Yes, pretty much all three. I've always found purples and mauves, pinks, oranges, very much colors of dawn and of twilight. And those spaces are liminal zones, and they're the spaces that I go to seek answers and visions. So hopefully that came across with shadow work. And yes, I happen to like the color too. Okay, so thank you for that. Another question was, how do you start a drawing? How do I start a drawing? If you're asking, hang on, I got your name, Cheyenne. If you're asking about ideation or how I come up with ideas, I spend a lot of time absorbing things in nature and looking around at objects around me, talking to people, just, general inspiration and doodling and more doodling and lots of doodling. Did I mention doodling? Because sometimes you get caught up in your head a little too much. You're intellectualizing things, and that kind of divide between how you think things are going to turn out and how they actually turn out can be very frustrating. So doodling gets you out of your head and into your hands, and sparks ideas, and then you can refine them, and then you can resolve them. And by that I mean you work on ideas, you make doodles, you sketch them out a little bit more, and then you kind of settle on how you want something to look, and you polish it up, but not too much, because I have a pretty sketchy style, so I'd like to leave it very loose. And there is a danger of overworking your drawings, which is another thing, and making them start to look awkward or stilted or mechanical. All I can say is practice, practice, and more practice. And don't be afraid to make mistakes and doodle, doodle, doodle. Yeah, there, I said it. I keep saying that word. Okay, so what else do I want to talk about? A little bit of shadow work in the upcoming week, and the cards, the tarot deck, the Shadowland Tarot. So this is a topic near and dear to my heart, and probably to several of you. It is procrastination. Okay, and procrastination is generally referred to as the needless postponement of things, not postponing for good cause. Okay, and you'll have to determine that. You will have to determine if you actually were not feeling well, or you just were procrastinating something you had to deal with. So if it's a needless postponement, why do we do it? Why indeed? As a creative person, it's something that I've had to deal with a fair bit, and I think most of us have, regardless of our profession, in one way or another. Procrastination, it just always seems to pop up for something, and usually something we don't like. I think the easiest way to identify this is we just don't like it and we don't want to do it. But why? Why? Again, that's me. I'm very inquisitive. I'd like to know why I don't like certain things. You know, other than the obvious, it's going to hurt. Okay? Here's a card for you. The Nine of Swords. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare card, and it's really depicting fear. And fear is the reason we procrastinate. Oh, hello, Tower card. Got blown out of the tower again. Also fear and shock. Two of Swords. Kind of a Two of Swords moment, which can be a good thing. All of these cards can be very positive. They can also be a little challenging, honestly. But the Two of Swords is sort of about indecision and not being able to make up our mind. Sometimes we feel put on the spot. And you know, here's a little something I found out. I have a printout. This is the amygdala. Right here, this little walnut-sized spot in your brain, amygdala. I just like saying the word. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. It's such an amygdala. Okay, the amygdala is a part of our brain that gives us our emotional responses and our immediate emotional responses. And it's the area of the brain that is responsible for, you know, a fight or flight response. Okay, and apparently, which I did not know, I looked it up, nerd alert, 1/32 of a second is how fast your amygdala will decide to fight or to flee. Okay, so apparently it's a little quicker than the rest of our brain. It came about through survival and our need to survive. Hey, large animal, you know, we needed that fight or flight response. But over time, we're generally pretty safe and secure, and yet we still have that response to a lot of things. And if we're given a task we don't really want to do for a myriad of reasons, our amygdala can kick in and just go, ah! And, you know, we're stuck. And sometimes if you can't flee or fight, you can shut down entirely because where else is there to go? Thank you, amygdala. Now, I should say, you know, it's also that lovely part of our brains that keeps us alive when we see large things that again, can consume us. So, what about that, though? And procrastination. Well, because we've already had an immediate emotional response. Oh, no, it's going to hurt. Oh, no, I'm going to fail. And a myriad of fears. So what I'd like to say is two things that are very positive here. And yes, your upcoming week, folks, this is going to be an issue. For anyone watching this video, I guarantee this is going to be an issue. What can we do? What can we do? Well, the good news is we can rewire our amygdala over time due to this marvelous thing called neuroplasticity, where we can actually change the way we think. We are in control, even though that emotional response can be immediate and out of our control. 3 seconds later, apparently, our rational brain can kick in and we can think it over. We can decide, you know, what is bothering us here. And there's lots of ways to tackle that too. What can you do? You can look at the Hierophant, seek wisdom, and those who've written articles about procrastination and strategies for you, some of them might work. There's so many good articles out there dealing with why, and a lot of people have different reasons that they offer for procrastination. I found most of them incredibly helpful, especially in the strategy of just slow it down for a minute and think about what it is driving your response to put things off. You know, we know about perfectionism, so what can you say in response? You can switch that thought to a wiser, kinder thought, which is, Yeah, it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. You are doing your best. Sometimes your best sucks. Sometimes your best is stellar. And that's human. You just need to learn how to accept that. So if that's a response, replace it with a more positive thought. Okay? A positive thought. Hello, I'm riding naked on a creature in the sun. There's a positive thought for you. Now, I'm not suggesting you find one of these, but, replace it with positive thinking. As soon as that part of your brain says, oh no, you can't do this, who are you kidding, imposter syndrome, you say, well, just talk back, and be the support you'd like to have in your life, and say, hang on, who says? Who says I'm going to suck at it? Who says I can't do it? Just because it won't be perfect, I think we already dealt with that one. Okay? Replacing with positive thoughts. Now, I also have read that you cannot change necessarily all of those negative thoughts. So this technique actually helps you just put a positive thought beside it until maybe those negative voices and fears just kind of dissipate over time because they're being bombarded with a naked person on a strange creature. All right, then over time you'll feel more balanced and achieve some kind of balance moving forward. What other techniques? Let's see. I have a little bit of my own essential oil therapy here because, apparently when you're having a negative thought, that smells like baked cookies, You can do things. You can do things to divert your attention. You can make a list. You can make your task doable. You can have structure in your life to say, these are the times I'm going to do this. And again, make them reasonable, because if you make your expectations so ridiculous, of course you're going to procrastinate even further, and you're going to go, hey, don't have to. If you're having this fictitious battle in your own mind of someone telling you what to do and you're fighting back, whoa, that just gets messy, doesn't it? Support yourself and say, okay, maybe today I didn't get to it. Maybe that expectation was too high. So I've got it on my list for tomorrow. And that's not the same as just leaving it forever, right? It is just being reasonable and managing expectations. And over time, I think that just gets easier and easier because you become more aware of what you're doing and how long it takes. There's another thing. Time management. That has to start with you knowing where you put your time and energy. So you can keep a log, you can write down what you do. I know people sometimes don't like that. It's like when you're on a diet or something and you have to write down everything you eat and you go, see, I'm going to procrastinate that because I know I'm eating things I shouldn't. But if you can, without judgment, harsh judgment of yourself, spend a day or two writing down everything you do and how long you take at it. Because maybe you think, oh, it only takes me 5 minutes to have a shower. Oh, come on. Really? It takes a bit longer than that, okay? Once you know how long things take, you'll be more reasonable in your expectations, I think. So that's just another little way to deal with it. Remember, folks, say it with me. Amygdala. Amygdala. It's a new spell I have. Amygdala. Will I do a drawing of one? Probably, and it'll have legs and fangs. I'm joking, of course. Anyway, until next week, have a good time. Have a great week. Take a look at some procrastination and what you might want to do with your time so that you're not procrastinating things that would actually be very fulfilling and joyous for you. Because you know what? Once you quit procrastinating, dopamine kicks in and it makes you feel really great. And then next time you won't procrastinate it. But you got to start somewhere, okay? Have a great week. Signing off, not from the cemetery, but 13 Cemetery Lane. Okay, take care. Bye.